So, my dear Aries, the sun has moved into Sagittarius, into Temperance, and we see here the perfect blending between masculine and feminine. What's important here is that Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the expansion, is the I want to show the world that I can be an angel, a guardian angel. And so we can see here this beautiful energy, also the rainbow. You are, right, the rainbow of creativity in expressing yourself. The 1 and the 4, we have, of course, then the Magician and the Emperor in here. And so you can feel in this card that you are as well, right? And so Sagittarius, which is a fire sign like you, is of course bringing you then that energy. So here we have also the 9th house of philosophy, and we will talk very deeply about life itself. And here the Sagittarius energy is connected with our thighs. You now are in the moon, or the moon is in your sign, right? And we can see the 4. We can see that you are the dynamic of an emperor. You are holding the world in your hand, but you're also holding the Ankh. And the Ankh is that symbol of, like, I understand how it works. I understand there is a higher force and a lower force, and in the center I can rule. And so you are ruled by Mars, and Mars is always that push, that force to do, let's take action, right? And of course Jupiter as well, right? Let's take action. And though you're the first house of self, you are more in that 1 here of the 14. So it's really interesting. The 1 and the 4 is actually depicting you are the first house of self. And here we have the 9th house of philosophy. The yoga position for Sagittarius is Paschimottanasana, is the guardian angel, is here the understanding that you are, when you get this energy through the sun, want to be an angel yourself. And of course, for you, it is meditation, looking deep within into all 4 directions. And through that, you are recognizing the empowerment is then in the 5, is when the 1 and the 4 come together, we get the 5, right? And the 5 is the 5 senses that we understand more and more are windows or even doors to the outer or then also the inner world. So this is just the sun and the moon today, right? Influencing you. So this is a very unique moment. It exists only once a year, but when we include all the other planets, it's once in a lifetime moment. Your court card is the Queen of Wands. If your birthday is between March 12th and April 9th, then she is your court card. If not, please look in the description below. I have listed all the cards on all their positions, and of course also all the court cards with their dates. Back to the last reading, you had Scorpio Sun giving Aries Moon the light. The mental remnants of your heart's painful past are liberated. Look at that, because you had 2 times the 3 of Swords, and you see here this liberation. You see here Scorpio. I mean, it's clear, right? And you see now that the arrow to the left is indicating we're going back in, we're going deep within to have a look what's still there, right? What's lingering. And so that was Scorpio connected with Pluto, and Pluto was the mystic and of course also the shadow side. Now through the sun in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, we're gonna look into the Wheel of Fortune. What is the Wheel of Fortune telling us, right? And so we're gonna look now into what this oracle card wants to tell you, right? Because it's important that we understand the planets connected as well with the zodiac signs. But also here, of course, we can have a look into what is my destiny? What is Jupiter wanting to tell me? So we're going to have a look. And the mermaid's love is coming up. Look at that. So the 24 and of course the 10 creates then 34. And the 34 is a 7. And the 7 is the Chariot, is the success. And so you want to be happy in love, right? Because just the 24 is then the High Priestess and you as the Emperor united, the intuition that makes you a strong leader. But calculated together, we get the 6, and the 6 is that moment where we recognize I am having the power to love myself and give then that love to someone that is similar like me. But she is a fish and he is a bird, right? And the bird is the evolution up in the air of the reptile, right? And so there is an evolutionary story being told here in why we come together. And then the 6 and the 1 of the 10 is then the 7. So you see right away that your destiny or the call this month or the expansion that you are wanting to experience this month is to feel this kind of love, right? And to allow this love to inspire you. Great. So we're gonna start the reading. I'm gonna read to the left. Again, to the left, it's the soul path. To the left is also to the new moon. You are going deeper within into the subconscious. You had in the month of Libra, right? That's when you had your full moon, because Libra is your opposite sign. And remember, right, that you are in the yoga position, the meditation. And the meditation is always that I look deep within myself for the direction that I am taking. And so you are feeling that. And of course, remember that here Sagittarius is bringing to you now the expansion into being a guardian angel. On the position of the Fool, that foolish idea, comes the Hanged Man. So the Fool has let himself fallen down and now he's hanging upside down. And it's almost like these two are looking at each other, right? Because we're going to the left. We're going to the new moon. And so these two are literally like, hey, are you hanging in there as well? And the Hanged Man is connected with Neptune, and Neptune are your dreams and are the deep, deep feelings that surfaces, right, in your consciousness. And so these two are literally looking at each other and saying, oh, I'm hanging in there. So you're hanging in there. You get a 12. The 12 is the Magician and the High Priestess. And so together they create the 3, and the 3 is the Empress. So you're giving birth, or you are in the midst of giving birth to yourself as a new you, because the Fool is connected with Uranus, and Uranus is, of course, that new beginning. And there is a new beginning that is letting you know something new wants to come to you. You want to break free from the frame. You want to dive into the ocean of consciousness, and you want to know who you really, truly are. Then on the position of the Magician comes the Moon. And the Moon is the number 37. And in the 37, we have the Empress and the Chariot. So the Moon is letting you know that you can be successful. Plus the 1 creates the 38. And the 38 calculated together is then an 11. And the 11 is a portal. A portal that you are looking into. You are looking into the phases of the moon, and somehow you know it's going deep within. Somehow you know it's going to the new moon, and there is a portal for you. But you also have the Empress. You also have then with the 8 of the 1 and the 7, the 8, the strength to look deep within into your subconscious and to accept that here comes always a sign of, well, I understand that the moon is guiding me. I understand that the moon is a language in its own. And so I wanted to see what the Oracle card is letting you know through the Mother Peace Tarot, and the Hanged Man came again. And so the Hanged Man this time is, though, facing to the left. And facing to the left in the Mother Peace Tarot, the Hanged Man is saying, first of all, the Hanged One, in her sacred cypress grove, Artemis chooses to stop everything. She hangs by a snake. She is offering herself to the goddess and praying. The snake joins her prayer by taking its tail into its mouth. She waits with her hands in the river. When she finally knows why she is here, a radiant light surrounds her head. She feels whole again. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So to the left, the Hanged One is ambivalent about slowing down or giving in to her inner world. So you are being challenged twice with the Hanged Man. So you have here the 11 portal and of course the 12 that is following, right? The number 11 and then the 12. But the 12 becomes a 3, and the 3 is the Empress. There is something new that wants to come to you, a new energy that is letting you know things are shifting, things are changing, right? And maybe in the way you see love, in the way you recognize that love is really strong and powerful. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes here the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is connected with the constellation Saturn in Sagittarius. Now we have, of course, the Sun in Sagittarius, right? And so the Sun in Sagittarius is bringing you now in your intuition the fact that you need to look deeper into why you're taking on sometimes tasks that are way too much, right? And so the 10 here with the Wheel of Fortune, right? Jupiter that is saying, well, everything is turning and changing, is now bringing you the awareness of here this mermaid's love, right? Is literally saying, well, don't do too much because, right, Saturn is the father, is the finger. Saturn is also the lessons and also the borders. So here you are learning to understand that the 2 and the 10 creates a 12. And so in a way, the Hanged Man is coming up again. The Hanged Man is literally saying, well, listen to your intuition. Really act then also upon your intuition, because the 3 is coming in the end here as then the birth that you can give to your life and learning that you are powerful. And so the 3 is talking right through the Hanged Man again. Then on the position of the Empress comes the Wheel of Fortune. And so the Wheel of Fortune, the number 10 plus the 3 of the Empress is the 13. And 13 back then, Scorpio Sun, which gave the light to Aries Moon, is the mental remnants of your heart's painful past are liberated. And so in a way, it's almost saying, yes, you are recognizing that the love, that true love is accepting the opposite, accepting that the other is so different that that's why I'm attracted to him, because I can learn from the opposite. I'm not learning from the same that I am. I learn only by recognizing the other is me, but in a different form. And so the 13 creates here a 4, and the 4 is you. And so you are recognizing that here the message is very clear that the Empress is letting you know, accept the feminine aspect of you as well, because you're the Emperor, and here comes the Empress and says, well, I'm bringing you the Wheel of Fortune, because the Empress is Venus connected, and that's connected with love and beauty. And love and beauty came up here, right, through this beautiful couple that is really uniting the opposite energies, right? Water and air. I mean, how much more different can you get? So here comes the Wheel of Fortune. Here comes the 13, which gives you the 4. Here comes you, which is changing and shifting. And we have a 10-10 portal here, letting you know that actually this, the 37, is also a 10 when we calculate it together, right? So there's a 10-10-10 portal. Recognize very clear that then when I calculate here the 10 together and the 1, it's an 11. And so the 11 here is letting you know that the portal is open, that you are seeing, yes, I can listen to the language of the moon. I can hear that the moon is talking to me. On the position of the Emperor, which is in the moon, comes the 2 of Swords. And the 2 of Swords is connected with moon in Libra. And Libra is your opposite sign. So maybe you learned a big lesson, because the 3 of Swords is Saturn in Libra. And Saturn, again, is right, the finger is that, okay, that's a lesson. And of course, Libra is opposite of you. And so I think you really learned your lesson. And so now you come into a peacefulness by crossing your arms and learning to understand that you are creating here a powerful portal in yourself. Because the 2 and the 4 creates the 6. And we have the 2 and the 4 here in this card, the 6, right? And so you are learning deep within to accept the duality and learn that that's the real love that you are aiming for, right? And so it's very clear that you are understanding that. Then on the position of the Queen of Wands comes the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is Saturn in Pisces. And Pisces is, of course, ruled by Neptune. And we have the Hanged Man ruled by Neptune. And we have the Hanged Man ruled by Neptune. And we had another 12 here, right? Also indicating somehow the Hanged Man is really important. And so here you are learning very clearly that you must move on from certain emotions. And you see how he's sitting here and looking up at the moon and seeing that something is talking, because the moon is talking to you. The moon is letting you know that he's bringing through Mercury, through the magician, right, the language of how we can let go of things, or how we can accept things. It's really important, because then with the 8 and the 1 we have a 9, and the 9 is the completion. The 9 is the Hermit. The 9 is then you have learned your lesson, because that's where you want to go, from 8 to 9. And you are going to 9, because otherwise the number wouldn't come up. So it's very clear that you are understanding this moment, and you are moving on, and you are healing yourself. Then on the position of Temperance. Temperance here comes Virgo, the totem of stones, the snake, or the crawlers, right? And this is the 6th zodiac sign of health. And so the 14, which becomes a 5, and the 6, we get an 11 here. And the 11 is again a portal that is giving you the power to see that the sun is giving you, in your personality now, a perspective to really shift into the giving and the taking. That's what Temperance is all about, blending the masculine and the feminine. And the 6 here, right, it's the 6 here. So there is something that you are being told, because from the deck of the ethereal visions, we see here the guardian angel. We see how she's creating a union between giving and taking. And so always understand that the 11 then is a really huge portal that is letting you know all is good and you are doing the right thing by connecting to your health, by connecting to Virgo, by connecting to the things that here the 9 brought to you as well, because that's the Hermit. And you are learning to really see now that you are wanting to become more clear in the way you're working with the planet. On the position of the moon as the dream oracle, here comes the unmarked trail, the revelation, and the number 57, which then here is the 5, the Hierophant, and the 7 is, of course, the Chariot. And the Chariot is the success, right? The success that the 7 is here already bringing to you. And you understand that when I calculate them together, I get a 12 again, the Hanged Man. Neptune, your dreams, right? Listen to your dreams, because the moon is literally giving you answers in your dreams. And the unmarked trail means now you're going deeper down into your subconscious, into the moon phase of the new moon. And that's where the revelation is going to come to you. And so the 12, that becomes a 3, the Empress that brought you the Wheel of Fortune, that brought you the mermaid's love, right? So the 9 and the 3 is a 12 and the 3 is left. So recognize the Wheel of Fortune. Now I wanted to see, of course, what the unmarked trail is bringing you from the Mother Peace Tarot, and you got the Magician. The Magician is saying, hey, then the 3 and the 1 creates the 4. You are going to find yourself, and you're going to see how powerful you are, how of an amazing magician you are. You have all the 4 elements, and you are finding yourself, right? You are finding yourself deep within you with the 4 and the 2, which is also the 6, right? You are finding yourself also by going into the Virgo mode, the Knight of Pentacles, right? That is actually there for the earth, the 6th zodiac sign, the health. You're finding the inner knowledge deep within you that you are learning to really be now powerful, because you are coming up. The number 4 is left here in this position. So the moon is bringing you, and you can really like trust the path. On the position of the sun comes here the wind, the number 22. So right away, the motion and the air is a portal, the 22. And learn that then here, the 2 of swords, you get 3 times the 2. Learn that here the 19 is the 10. And the 10 is then, of course, the Wheel of Fortune. But the sun is bringing you, hey, there is a movement that wants you to go out, right? Because going out is showing yourself, and you love to show yourself, but also recognize really clearly that you need to go deep within. And so I wanted to see what's happening here also with the Mother Peace Tarot. And here came the Lovers, but reversed. And the Lovers reversed is saying, I'm just going to read to you the Lovers as the card itself. A bright pink ground of self-love has flooded through the gap, sweeping aside the oppressive myths and fantasies on the Greek vases. The walls of the Emperor and the Hierophant, have opened. Lovers merge in geometric shapes. Sudden energy reverberates in an ecstatic shudder through the sky, and the sun sets above a rose arbor. The lovers know all is right with the world, for they are at peace. Reverse. The lovers are unable to make a choice. It's a hard time in their relationship. Perhaps there are conflicts, pain of separation, dominance issues, gender bias, or power struggles. The lovers are called to work through conditioned fantasies about romance and partnership in order to come together. And that's exactly what I see here, right? You, the 4, and the 2 is also the 6. And so learn to really see that the differences is what makes a relationship so important. And so the Wheel of Fortune is saying, yeah, everything is turning and shifting. And so now this is upside down here. This came straight and this came upside down. There is a big learning now in this love, in this difference, and you are recognizing how powerful this is, because then here with the 22 and of course the 6, right, upside down, but actually I leave the portal. I don't calculate the portal together, though here would be a 4. You have here the 10 and the 6, which is then the 16, which is the Tower. So something needs to go. A big fight, something is like, okay, something is needed to leave. And then the 16 becomes the 7. The 7 is the Chariot, is then you being successful in the relationship again. Learning to love each other, learning to trust each other, learning to be with each other, and learning to know that you are always being guided. Because then on the world comes the pages of emotions, and that's always Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, right? And you had here the 8 of Cups, which is Saturn in Pisces. You did move on from something that didn't make sense to you, right? And so you see the liberation, you see the heart space, you see that you can now give love again to this relationship, right? Even though here it's upside down, but sometimes the upside down is the only way for us to recognize, oh, I guess we need to work on it. We need to see each other's differences again. And so here you are, right? The 21 is a 3. The 3 zodiac signs here, it's then a 3-3 portal, 22, 33. And you had an 11 as well, right? And so you have 11, 22, 33. You have a succession right now, and that's a very powerful sign that actually the blending is bringing you, because the blending is exactly what these two are doing, and that's what Jupiter is bringing. Jupiter is saying, just go for it, because when I close now the reading, you have a 3-3 portal here, right? And again, a 33 is closing, a 33 up and a 33 to the left. And so you are then finding the true love, the love that is with the emotions, with the feelings connected. And you are then cutting through borders and lessons that Saturn brings in this world, right? Because the world's saying, but still you can liberate yourself, still you can free yourself out of course, out of energies that are blocking you. And so the heart is what's left. The heart is saying, well, just open yourself to this beautiful love, because, I mean, you can see that's it, right? Here is the answer to all the questions that you have. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then we have the Sun in Capricorn, in the Devil, in attachments, and we're going to see there what else you can liberate. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.